Good morning, Niagara. You're tuned into the Car Connection, where the coffee's hot, tools are ready, talk is always tuned up. I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, coming to you straight from the Car Connection workshop this morning, where we mix a little humor, a little know-how, and a whole lot of horsepower. Here, it's not just about fixing cars, it's about keeping you rolling, saving you money, giving you the confidence to understand what's under that hood. From the classics to the commuters, the weird noises to the what the heck moments, we've got you covered. So grab your coffee, sit back, join the crew, because this is Car Connection, your Monday through Saturday morning pit stop for stories, smarts, few good laughs. And I'm Niall Motormouth Jenkins, and we're going to shift into drive this morning. We are a little behind the eight ball, but we've got to get caught up. I had a little bit of an issue down in the workshop, but we got it under control, I think. Looks like I do. Lost all my brake fluid in the FJ. Just so much going on video shoot Mondays. That's what happens around here in the Car Connection studio. Do the morning podcast, get your uniform on and everything, head out onto the shop floor and shoot 3, 4, 5, 6 videos, whatever we can get done, and get them loaded up. So if you haven't checked out our YouTube channel, you're going to want to do that, because the series... Lately, the series we've been doing has really kicked off what we call Summer 2026 Brake Nationals have already begun. We've got 2 vehicles that are in need of brake service work, replacement, you name it. So those videos are being shot as we speak. There'll be some of the series will begin next week. And I just found out yesterday, here in Ontario anyway, it is long weekend. It's Victoria Day weekend. And I'm like, what? No way. And my videographer's going, yeah, way. And I'm going, no way. Yeah, way. Check it out. I said, well, it's not May 2-4 weekend. That would be May 17 weekend. I'm going, that doesn't work. Like, no, that can't happen. But anyways, proven wrong. True. Long weekend this weekend. If you got your car ready, packed, it's cottage opening, trailer opening, first cramping, glamping, or whatever, time out. And I really hope the weather's going to hold out for you. I really am. I'm praying up a storm here for you, because I have been on a fishing trip in Bay of Fundy, I think it was. No, Bay of Quinte, Kingston area, Kingston, Ontario. And I ended up, the guys I went with were so inebriated, they didn't do any fishing. They invited me to come fishing, but it didn't start as fishing at all. They were bending elbows for 2.5 days or more. And I met some old feller up there. I was standing on the dock, and Friday was a beautiful day. We drove out there with the fellas from work. I'll never do that again. Message to self. No, I fish alone. Do. That's right. I think I've heard that before. So I met this old timer on the dock the Saturday morning, bright and early, miserable, wet, raining, foggy, cold. Just miserable. He goes, hey, son, what are you doing? I go, well, I came up fishing with the guys from work. He goes, they're not doing any fishing, are they? I go, no, I came for the fishing. He goes, well, I have a boat. I like you. So anyway, short story. That was my first time ever going away on the May long weekend. And it sucked with a K. I couldn't wait to get home. In fact, I was trying to get a cab from this campground called Cayuga something campground, Camp Cayuga or whatever. And you didn't hear me say this part. I was so cold, wet, damp, cold, freezing. I tried sleeping in the pickup truck because these guys made a mess out of the tents. It was horrible. It was a horrible thing. So I'm praying up a storm right now that you don't experience any of that, because it's wrong. All right, so good morning. Welcome to the morning. Motormouth Morning Drive here in the Car Connection Workshop. We got a ton of stuff on the go. Again, if you have not signed up for our YouTube channel or you are watching the videos but not subscribed, help us out. Help Skippy and I out. We're working hard to bring you the bestest content we possibly can without laughing too hard. I think she's laughing more at me now. She's getting comfortable and asking questions, which is good. So now we have more ways for you to watch, listen, and engage. So we have YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, iHeartRadio. We're on all the platforms. So wherever you pull your podcasts from, you'll find us there. Just type in the search bar, Car Connection Workshop. So we're on all the biggies, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, Podbean. I'm still waiting for someone to kick an email over saying, if I had this particular vehicle, I would name it Podbean. Yeah, so I have a vehicle in mind, and I'm waiting, doing an opinion poll to see if someone matches what I'm thinking would make a great name for a specific make and model of vehicle. So help me out on that one. Again, if you're enjoying the videos, please do us all a favor. And I want to speak on behalf of all the online influencers that are giving away their knowledge and information for absolutely zippo, bupkis, nada, zilch. Do the little things to help us build our channels and reach bigger markets. So that's how the algorithms work. So if you're not liking, sharing, following, subscribing, ringing the notification bell so you don't miss a single episode of automotive advice and maintenance tips for free, if you're not doing those little things for us, it doesn't help the channels to grow. So whatever your online platform is that you enjoy, you're watching videos there, do them a great justice by doing those little things for us, okay? So thank you very much on behalf of all the online influencers, because it is a 100% commitment to create the content, shoot the content, edit the content, and get it loaded up so that you're not missing any episodes, so that we create a thing, what we learned in 31 and a half years of radio, continuity. We have to have continuity. That's why we're doing a morning podcast for you every single day, all the way to Saturday. So if you're joining us for the first time, Friday is Fun Friday. It's kind of like open mic. We cover whatever bounces in my head, whatever thoughts come in. And if you send me questions, I may answer some of those on Friday. But your questions for Q&A Saturdays, which is a 1-hour program, I have time to break down 3 questions completely. So not giving you any fluff whatsoever. I take 3 questions out of all the questions that come in by noon on Fridays. So let's get started this morning. The title of this morning's podcast is The Plan is the Plan is the Plan. Do you have a plan? So I give you something to think about, some fodder to sift through while we get our morning swiggy done, our daily weather, and now I know that we're heading into a long weekend. Weather will become extremely important, but not as important as coffee here in the Car Connection Workshop. That nothing trumps high octane. It just doesn't, because that's what we run on, not a penny less. So everything we talk about lives at our website at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. It is the biggest drawer we have in our toolbox. So all our program partners and recommended businesses, as we're redoing and revamping our Car Connection Business Network, so you have referral businesses. I mean, if you're on the other side of the planet, it may not help you. We may have to find some on your side where your geography is. So that's the whole idea. Now there's no boundaries. So we can have businesses with us that meet the criteria from anywhere on the planet, as long as there's listeners, right? It'll work out. So on the homepage, you'll see the logos for our program partners and recommended businesses. All you do is click, it'll open. The profile page is set up there. Webmaster done a great job. Every profile page is set up and you navigate it exactly the same way. So there's no getting lost in those profile pages whatsoever. Everything is there for you. On the top right-hand corner, the home page of our website, you'll find everything that you need available to connect with us. So as I said already, Car Connection now with more ways to watch, listen, and engage. So come and join us Monday through Saturday here on our iHeartRadio podcast, Motormouth Morning Drive. So top right-hand corner, we've got YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Skippy's already creating some new reels, bloopers, and outtakes. I caught her actually yesterday. I turned slowly, and the camera's rolling, and I'm like, okay. She goes, can you just turn the other way for a minute? Yeah, it's coming, folks. There's some bloopers going to be up there on Instagram and Facebook, some new ones. There are some on Stevensvilleontheweb.ca. That's a website that our videographer and my folks live in. My mom passed in 22. My pops is still living in Stevensville. And she created that website to bring and draw the businesses to the consumer, to the community, the consumers, and the community to the businesses locally. So it's a communal website, and we are placed as experts in the automotive field. So we put articles there. Skippy puts up bloopers and little short videos and vignettes there so that you won't see anywhere else. So again, the podcast, what I cover on the podcast, I don't cover on YouTube. And what I do on YouTube, I'm not necessarily covering on the podcast. So you're getting fresh gear all the time. Yeah, so we're keeping it fresh in the crisper drawer. Yeah, and don't leave the drawer open. Not a good idea. Dry stuff out. So we have an online store. And just a quick reminder, when you purchase something in the online store, pick your color, your size, whatever item it is, safely pay for it, and all proceeds go to Total Freedom Addiction campuses in Canada and USA to help those who have made that decision to break free from their addiction forever, to say goodbye to their addiction forever. That's what the campuses are designed for. It's not a program there. It's a life change. They teach them how to get through the addiction, round it, under it, over it, and then they work them getting back into the responsibility of having their own place, paying the rent, having a job, and putting in the hours, being responsible for their time and their performance. All that is done on the campuses. So we want to help them to get there once they've made that decision. So thank you to each and every one of you for jumping in and knowing that every item, every dollar created from every item sold goes directly back to Freedom Expressions that puts together our online store for us through Total Freedom Addiction campuses. So it all, the wheel turns together, right? You know, you can be an island if you want, but it's pretty boring. But you know what? When you have some peeps you can count on and everybody's helping each other equally, the wheel turns together and it gets so much easier. But if there's only, you know, as my professor always taught me, there's only two people in the world, givers and takers. You can only stand in one arena at one time. So what are you? You have to ask yourself, what are you? Are you a giver or are you a taker? Think about it. Gets the mind going if you have one. Well, let's say thank you to Earl and Louise Grant this morning for bringing and making this podcast possible. They are the Greater Toronto Area's pre-owned premier auto store. They have quite an inventory there, but if you don't see what you're looking for, Earl and Louise have 20 to 25 years plus in the business, so they have resources to find low mileage, quality vehicles and offer them to you at fair prices. So if you're looking for something specific and they don't have it, connect. And if it's out there, I'll tell you, Earl is a very fussy car guy. He doesn't bring any junk into the dealership and he doesn't sell any junk there. Those things go into the used car corral and they just get sold off as is, where is. So if you're looking for a beater or something like that, let Earl and Louise know, because they do have a used car corral, stuff that they may take in on trade, but they're not going to flip it back out onto their inventory. You may be able to pick something up, that's older, that's in decent shape, put some love and tender loving care into it and some mechanicals and get it back out there. And if it helps you for the next couple of years get back on your feet, that would be okay, right? So check in with them, talk to Earl and Louise, and let them know what your needs are, so you can buy with confidence there and be treated with nothing less than honesty and integrity. So let Earl and Louise Grant know that I sent you there. They have in-house leasing as well as financing. So if you're just joining us, we are going to have our Swiggy this morning. So if you're scooting through the drive-thru, it is Tuesday, heading into a long weekend. You know what can happen to the mind? The mind is a terrible thing to waste. And even though I worked on the shop floor in our own shop for 11 years until I had some back issues that were really bad, I did a super number on myself. Talk about that sometime. The guys used to always say to me, "Hey, Motormouth, what would you do with a brain if you had one?" I go, my grade 5 teacher used to always say the same thing. Are you related? Yeah, so anyways, just on a side note, make sure you got some little gray men running around in your head so you can, work things out. So here's how we do it. Lock your cup in, check your order as you leave the drive-thru. There's no reversing in the drive-thru. And on 3, 2, 1, we have a Swiggy together, okay? So whatever your morning beverage is, we are totally good with it. Ours is high octane. That's just the way it is. I have my herbals in the morning to get the engine firing and keep us going for 18 hours. And that's about it. So ready? Thank you to Earl and Louise Grant at City Auto Sales and Leasing. 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah. I put a little extra ginger in there today. That's got some kick to it. That'll float your boat or put hair on the top of your feet, one or the other. You got an option there. Well, we better get into the weather report so we can jump into today's topic. The plan is the plan is the plan. Do you have a plan? That's the question today. So begin to wake up those little gray men, your brain thinker-uppers, and search and see if you do have a plan. And if you don't have a plan, you need to get in touch with our certified financial planning professionals, Tony Miele, Larry Tetro, over 50 years experience as fiduciaries. They work with one of the largest companies in the world, IG Wealth Management. So if you have questions, folks, with regards to an investment portfolio, it's sitting parked somewhere with the handbrake on, you don't know what it's doing, nobody keeps you informed, or you're just in one of those cookie cutter investments at the bank, folks, I have steered my friends that direction, and I'll tell you what, they really like me now. So you need to get that hour and a coffee discovery meeting with either Tony or Larry, and folks, get your questions answered. You'll have a good time with either fella. They're my brothers from other mothers, my personal financial planners for over 20 years. Let me tell you, you're not going to tell them anything they have not heard before. And they're not going to, there's be no condemnation. But get that hour and a coffee booked. Leave your wallet, leave your purse at home. They're not there to sell you anything. They're there to listen and see how they can help you. So if you have one of those portfolios that's making you pittance at the bank, you definitely need to sit down and get that money working hard for you, not you hard for the money. If you're up to your eyeballs in debt, you don't have a full estate plan, but you have 18-year-old children living at home, you have a bank book, a checkbook, and some stuff, and maybe a property or two. If you need a mortgage arranging, I don't do mortgages with banks anymore. The rates are fantastic. The ladies out in Winnipeg in the mortgage department are absolutely outstanding. You have a question, they'll get back to you very quickly. If you don't have any life insurance or critical illness insurance at all, you need to get that taken care of. Because, here's the thing about insurance, even car insurance. I don't know where you live, but here in Ontario, Canada, we have to have insurance to be on Ontario roadways. If you don't, it's a $10,000 fine, possible 6 months to a year in jail, depending on how many times you've driven without insurance. But insurance may seem like an expense till all of a sudden we need it. And yesterday, driving out of town for a few minutes, going on a service call to check out a Mini, hit a pothole. The rim is destroyed, friends, and the tire. So take it easy out there. That's going to be an expensive fix, even with used parts. Thank goodness the suspension's okay, but the pothole was so big, and I'll tell you, my 44 plus years as a tech, that's the first time I've actually seen an alloy rim out of round. It wasn't round anymore. On the inside, it looked fine on the outside, but underneath, the rim was where the bead of the tire comes up against, had a great big bow in it. It didn't break the aluminum, but the rim was out of round. It made it egg-shaped, in other words. So take it easy out there, especially if you got a vehicle with low-profile tires. That's all it takes. A sharp pothole, and you're either going to break some suspension, break that alloy rim, you're going to definitely pop the tire. So what saved the person was they have run flats. So the tire didn't just blow right off the rim when they hit the pothole. It went right to the run flat. So they were able to get home safely on that run flat tire. But the rim, it's toast. Like unreal. So please be careful out there, those potholes. And with today's low-profile tires, I can tell you, my producer, when I was at ESPN for 12 and a half years with Car Connection, I think 3 times that happened to my producer. Hit a pothole, destroyed the tire, destroyed the rim. I believe it was 3 times. And he was not happy. So take it easy out there. It doesn't take long to do some damage. So check in with our certified financial planning professionals, bringing to you this morning our daily weather report. Tony Mielli, Larry Tetro, you'll find them on the homepage of our website. Just click on their logo and open their profile page, and you can connect directly with them there. Well, here's today's weather report. We might as well do the ugly and then move into the not so bad right away. Rain, yes. Precipitation will be rain today in our area on the south shores of Lake Erie into the Niagara, parts of the Niagara region. 0.2 of an inch. Prepare for that. The forecast, 35 degrees right now, mostly sunny. And mostly sunny? What? Are you serious? There's no sun out. Oh, yes, there is. Sorry. Yes, there is sun. I sit corrected. 35 right now and mostly sunny. Wind is making it feel colder, about 34 degrees. Partly cloudy conditions from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. today, with mostly cloudy conditions expected at 4 p.m. Today's temperature range, here it is. 34 to 58 degrees, but it's going to feel more like 33 to 57. So yesterday we hit a balmy high of 54 degrees, but it was sunny here. It was pretty nice, actually, not too shabby. We shot a couple of videos outside, how to test a HEGO, so you're going to want to find out how you do that. And we jury-rigged some windshield washers, squirters, things. Put in some new ones, and we had to adapt them to the vehicle because apparently the windshield washer squirter thingies, nobody seems to know what washer squirty thingies that vehicle is supposed to take. So after ordering them twice and getting the same ones and then seeking advice, the customer still found the same ones. So we had the vehicle yesterday. You'll have to watch that video. I was able to adapt them to the vehicle and make it work. That's what you got to do. There's no such word in our shop as can't. And sometimes the fellas would say things like this. Motormouth, yeah, I'm working over here. I worked on the floor just as hard as they did, if not harder. Because if you never believed in life after death, you just have to be at the shop at 5 o'clock. Yeah. You say, I am unable to get this fastener off. Because they knew they weren't allowed to say can't. So you see how tricky they were? Very tricky. All right, let's jump into the topic this morning. You got your thinking caps on. You got your pack of 16 Crayola crayons. Those are the best ones. They don't taste so bad. And you need your folded leaf bag called the Car Connection laptop. Yeah, and then you got to take the plastic thing off that holds it, in its flat position so you can unfold it and keep writing. Just unfold it, fold it, unfold it. Got it? Okay, good. Well, it's the plan is the plan is the plan. Right? You got the plan, right? How to keep your vehicle long term? Yeah. I just said to someone yesterday, and I've mentioned it many times, if you took the odometer out of every vehicle that we drive on the road, it wouldn't matter. Because I don't care about the mileage. I don't. It's the maintenance that matters. That's it. This whole thing about mileage means absolutely diddly squat. Now, if you're running construction equipment and stuff like that, it's an hour meter. You're watching the hours to the next service. See? That's how it works. All this marketing and blah, blah, blah for all these years, mileage. Well, I'll tell you what, if a salesman tried to sell me personally a car that only comes with 60,000 kilometers of warranty, get lost. Yeah, if you say it fast enough, it's all one word, get lost. Exactly. That's for that kind of money, that's all you're going to give me? 3 years, 60,000 K or miles, depending on where you live. It's the same in Canada. 3 years, 60,000 kilometers. In the U.S., it's 3 years, 60,000 miles. But if that's all you can give me for that amount of money that I'm working my butt off, paying a car payment plus interest, plus I got to still maintain it, because the normal wear and tear items are not covered by warranty. Hello? They might cover brakes for the first 8,000 miles or 8,000 kilometers. Maybe. If there's actually a defect there. But if you drive like you stole it and you're burning your brake burner, you're not getting them changed under warranty. If you burn the tires off in 15,000 miles or 35,000 kilometers, they're not going to give you new tires. Even if a light bulb burns out, you're paying for it. Wiper blades, battery, all those things are what they call normal wear and tear. So whether you got warranty or not, unless they're giving you a bumper to bumper warranty, this is what I tell you about your warranty. Don't waste your time with a bowl of popcorn and getting bored out of your mind reading the warranty. Slip to the section that says items covered, because that's the short list. That's their plan. Their plan is to have the short list of things that they're going to take care of under warranty. The long list is yours. So that's the best way to interpret any manufacturer's warranties, or even if you're purchasing an extended aftermarket warranty, look at the covered items. And if there are things on there on the covered items that aren't included but have made it to the uncovered items, if it's an aftermarket warranty, you can usually step up to the next game plan and get some of those items off the not covered list onto the covered list. So that's their plan for you. And I will tell you flat out, any time of the night. You could wake me up at 3:15 in the morning, which I'm probably awake already, and ask me, what do you think of their plan? It sucks. Leave me alone. I'm going back to sleep for another 7 minutes on snooze. Yeah, it sucks. And it has sucked for a long time. So now it's even gotten worse because of the quality. And, I remember walking into a general store, a very old general store that was here in Fort Erie at one time. And it was a sign on the wall. Price reflected, quality is reflected in the price of items sold here. And I've always remembered that sign. I thought, wow, that really, if you really think about it, it makes sense. If you're selling quality items at a fair price, then profitability is not a dirty word. But if you're jamming it to the consumer, jacking the price up, and the quality's dropped off, that ain't right. That's not right, folks. That's why I do what I do. I've been on radio for 31 and a half years. Now we scooped over to digital. We're fully digital now, and it's much nicer. It really is. It was a little nervous at first, but it's a lot nicer because it's a lot freer. I can talk to you about certain things that I was not allowed to talk to you about on radio, but here I can. So I'm here to teach you as much as I possibly can, because I'm not in it and have never been in it for the manufacturer or even at the dealership level. Because here's the problem, and it's been a problem for a long time. So when I closed the shop in 2001, I went undercover as a mole into a dealership. I posted my resume. I got picked up. I wanted to know how a dealership worked. Let me tell you, 4.5 years, they ground me out, man. But when I landed there, I spent a week with a clipboard going through the whole building and analyzing it because this dealership had to be fixed. It was about to lose its licensing. And so it was serious because this was like, warning number 3 or 4 to the owner. It was, get your poo together or else. Our vehicles are leaving, and the signage. I couldn't believe what I saw going on in a dealership, and they still had the lights on and the doors open. That's how bad it was. I'm like, oh my gosh, do they all run like this? This is pathetic. The customer was treated like dog poo on your shoe, and they expect a customer to come back? Nickel and diming them? Wow. Incredible. You got to spend a lot of money to bring more volume of customers in because they don't come back. So here's the problem. The manufacturers don't even like their own dealerships, and the dealerships don't even like the manufacturers. So where's the customer in all this mess? Where's the plan to take care of the customer? There's no plan. There's no plan. But then when their customer satisfaction index goes down the toilet for the 3rd or 4th Poseidon adventure, then they got to get things right with the customer, and they don't even know how to do it. They don't know how to do good old-fashioned customer service. Your word is your worth, and your worth is your word. So what we're going to tear apart this morning, as much as I can in the time I have, is making sure that you have a plan to keep that vehicle long-term. Unfortunately, many of you listening may be in the last 5 model years of vehicles that are absolutely horrendously not good. They're not good. The quality is not reflected in the price. The price is an egads, man. That much for that? Are you kidding me? Does that come with an espresso maker and an automatic donut dispensing machine? No, I'm out. That's why we're looking at And the buzzword is keeping an older vehicle, finding an older vehicle, and as long as the structural integrity is solid, you're there. You've got a platform to work with. So the plan is the plan is the plan. And that is right. That's what you need. Because that vehicle has to make you money, not lose you money. Like yesterday I mentioned, if we all drove bulldozers and we only got paid if the bulldozer was working, that you got to the job site, unloaded your bulldozer, and it's working, carving out the earth's crust, then you get paid. But if your bulldozer is in critical condition and you don't even know if it's going to start or perform or make it through the day, then nobody's going to hire you to use your bulldozer so you can make some money. You follow me? You would definitely have to have a major maintenance plan to make sure that your bulldozer comes off your trailer and it is ready to do business with the earth's crust all day long, and then do it again tomorrow and the next day and the next day. You would look at that bulldozer and say, if I got to stay up all night to service it, it's got to be ready to work tomorrow morning, or I don't get paid, I don't eat. It's that simple. So when you change your mindset and look at that vehicle in the driveway that's paid for, you know what I hear? Cha-ching. It's making me money. And it doesn't matter if you have to throw some parts at it to keep that maintenance up. It's paid for. It's paid for. That's the news, the good news of the day. The best vehicle in the driveway today, and you would hear this from Tony Miele and Larry Tetro, my personal financial planners. Best car in the driveway, the one that's paid for. Because you're going home to work, home to work, home to work, home to work to collect a paycheck, and you're not spending it in principal and interest on a car loan. That sucks. Big time. Get the thing paid off and get out of the game. That's what you need to do. That's the plan. Get it paid off, fix it up, and if it's just a continuous pile of hoopty, then you send it down the road. Go find yourself a 10-year-old vehicle that's made right with less electronics and stupid stuff and plastic. Oh my gosh. Pretty soon, you know what? There won't be a motor in there. It'll be just some kind of plastic mass. Here's the problem with plastic. It doesn't last. And they're stuffing it in the engine bay where the underhood temperatures in the engine bay are higher than we have ever seen in the last 20 years of production. They're cramming the engine bay where the powerhouse is crammed with plastic, and you can't even see if there's a motor in there. So here's what I tell folks. If you open the hood of a car and you can't see and identify anything, then that means when your tech is working under the hood, it's costing you more of his time to get down to the business. Because all that plastic stuff has to come off, then it's all got to go back on. What is plastic? It's gasoline. That's what it is. It's petroleum. So here's the problem. We got all this plastic in the engine bay. You have a fluid leak and it starts on fire. That car's done in less than like 10 minutes. Because once the plastic starts, it's gasoline. It's petroleum. It burns really good. Next time you see a car fire, watch how black it is, the smoke. It's toxic. The firefighters have to suit up with respirators now because the products the car's made out of is all plastic. Yeah. Plastic is cheap, not expensive. It's cheap. So look at the price tag. I think back we were in the winter, and I went into a Chrysler dealer, and they had a Jeep JK or something in the showroom. It was almost $60,000 before any tax, PDI, shipping, freight, and a wax and buff. And anything else they can throw in there to charge you for. The cup holder, maybe. So I did the math on that. You may want to listen, hunt that podcast down. All our podcasts now instantly load up to our YouTube channel. So all the episodes are there. We're almost we're pretty close to being into season 3. So you have season 1 and season 2 are all there. So almost 200 episodes of Car Connection. I did an episode and I broke down that price. What was all factored in, and at the end of the day, you're needing to get a car loan for $67,000. Yeah, silence, crickets, right? You bet your bippy. How many hours do you have to trade time for money to pay for that thing? And for how long? And then at the end of the day, the trade-in value, peanuts. So you paid it off, and then they're telling you it's not worth anything. It's got mileage on it. Really? I would not be a good guy to sell a new car to, trust me, because I'd just nail them with the questions and watch the reaction, watch them scramble. Yeah. Are you kidding me? Do you know what I'm buying for that kind of money if I have it? Something that accrues profit, land, physical gold, silver, things that make you money, not eat your money. But here's the thing. If you're playing their plan and dancing to their tune, you're sucked in to their plan they have for you. That is to always be making a car payment. How about this? For the next 35 to 40 years, you're going to work to pay off a car payment for 35 to 40 years, the rest of your working days. Does that make sense? Not to me. And you might say, well, Motormouth, you're a mechanic. That's a lame excuse. Honestly. Watch the videos. You'll see I have to buy parts and I have to use my time away from everything else to get the job done. So my labor isn't free. I'm losing it elsewhere to fix my car. Understand? It's not being done for free. A, I got to source the parts. B, they got to come in. C, I got to take off the old stuff and hopefully there's nothing else that's needed. And then I got to put it all back together. So again, I'm taking my time away from other stuff that makes money to lose money to fix my car. So it works out the same, whether you're paying somebody or whether I'm paying myself to do it. So let's jump into the next part. This is a 5-part series right here to get you. It's a plan, a 5-part plan. So part number 2, do you have a plan for that? I hope you do. And I hope I can teach you something because it works for me. The FJ, we've said it again and again, just short of 400,000 kilometers. The 99 Honda Civic DX, 319,000 kilometers. Do I care what the mileage is? Again, no plus no times no equals no. No. No, 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 and no, and no. Doesn't matter when you're taking care of it. Does it matter how many hours are on your bulldozer if you're taking care of it? You can go and do a 12-hour shift with your bulldozer and get paid. But your bulldozer has to be ready to work the next day to make you money so you can eat. It's all in the plan. When you have the right plan and the right mindset and you implement the plan, because in everything we do in life, there has to be a plan. honey, do you think I look fat in this bathing suit? Is that the time? Don't answer that one. But you say, you look in the mirror and you go, I'd really like to lose 10, 15 pounds. Okay. As my professor would say, Motormouth, okay, what's your plan? Plan? I need a plan? What kind of plan do I need? Well, you need a starting time, a date, and a finishing date, and what you're going to do in the middle to hit the desired outcome. I want to lose 10 or 15 pounds. How are you going to do it? Oh, I never thought of that. Well, I'll just think it off of me. No, there has to be action. Where there's no action, there's no results. Where there's no battle, there's no victory. There's wishes, there's wants, there's needs, and there's gots. And those are the categories. If you don't want to be working to make payment and interest payment on an automobile for 35, 40 years, then you've got to have a plan and implement the plan. So that's what I'm working up to here, is I want to help you people to get out of the car game, stop listening to the white noise and wait for the signal. I'm your signal. I'm teaching you how to get where I am. You want to put 400,000, 600,000 K on an automobile? Watch me dance. I absolutely can do it. How? I got a plan. And then what do? Keep rotating the plan. You don't need to change anything. You need to get started. So if you're wanting to lose 10 to 15 pounds before the beach heat comes on and get into your swimsuit and not look like a beached whale and feel uncomfortable in your skin, then you got to have a plan and you got to have a strategy. So a starting date and a finishing date, and you're going to check your progress along the way so that you can hit the desired date and target. The 10 to 15 pounds is gone and you gave it to your next door neighbor that you don't like. So then she's asking, do you think I look fat in this dress? I think my muffins are done. I'll have to get back to you on that. So having a strategy and thinking about doing something but not doing it comes back to the podcast I did about the 3 frogs. 3 frogs on a log. One's thinking to jump off. How many frogs are on the log? 3 frogs on the log, one deciding to jump off. How many frogs are on the log? It's a professor question. Most people will say, well, 2. No, listen. 3 frogs on a log. One's deciding to jump off. How many frogs on the log? 3. Well, one jumped off. No, he was deciding to jump off, but he didn't jump off. 3 frogs on a log, one deciding to jump off. How many frogs on the log? 3. He didn't jump off. He's still deciding. This is the trick that the car manufacturers are playing on you. That exact thing. We'll cover the vehicle for 60,000 K. If it has problematic issues, we'll pay for it. But their hope is, in their own words, that if they're major components, that the next time they have to change that major component on their dime, that it lasts till you get to 60,001 kilometer or 1 mile over, because then you get the kiss. We'd really like to help you, but we can't, because you crossed the finish line. So the quiet words were spoken just 2 weeks ago from an engineer that left one of the major car manufacturers, and he said that's what they plan in their plan, is that your vehicle doesn't have a lot of problems, but they have to pay for it. And all those expensive, they have it figured out. They have a plan. What is that plan? that, well, from the statistics that are out there, 10% of all the vehicles they create are going to be problematic. So they've got it figured out down to the nut how much one of those 10% would require warranty to be paid out to fix it. Then what do they do with all that? They factor that into the price of every new vehicle sold. So do they lose money? There's my question for you this morning. Another one. Did they lose money? No, they don't. They don't care if they have 10% of the vehicles produced are lousy and they need warranty work because they've factored the loss into the price of every new vehicle. You're paying for it. There you go. Ding, ding, ding. There's their plan. Let's continue. I only got a couple minutes left here. I'm over by 5. All right. So the plan is the plan is the plan, right? I'm talking about your plan, not their plan. I know their plan. And I just told you their plan. Planned obsolescence. If you ask AI, you'll get a very interesting answer, and it's not true. I'm just saying, no offense against AI fanatics, but I asked that question, and you'd be surprised the answer I got. I go, who are you working for? Just saying. Yep, put that out there. Give that a whiz bang. Planned obsolescence came out of the mouths of the engineers that just spent some time on YouTube's. And if you want to listen to one, go to a channel. It's called The Car Guy. The Car Guy. Check it out. Let them know Motormouth sent you over there. That the one engineer was on one of the episodes last week. You'll want to listen and do what I did. I listened, and then I re-listened, and I listened. It was very disturbing, I have to say. And it's shameful what the car manufacturers are doing. Not all of them, but they know who they are. And I'm not here to beat them upwards and downwards. They know who they are. They know what they're doing, and they've been doing it since, here I'll tell you, I've been watching them since 1992. And we're now at the ultimate period of their game plan. And it's not really working out for them. The only thing they understand really is loss of market share. Then you get their attention. What does that mean? You get rid of their junk and go try something else. That's what will get their attention. See, we don't understand that we have the power as the consumer. Most have become consumers. You've been buying their crap for so long, you don't even smell it anymore. But when you become a prosumer, a professional consumer, then you understand the game and see the game and don't get in their game. You stay out of their game. I'm all for you, folks. So the plan is the plan is the plan. We'll see if we can get through this time. Right? So you have one, right? Do you have a plan? If so, how's it going so far? How's that working out for you? Are you on the never, never plan? You never own it. You always pay for it. What is it? Oh, an automobile. You're going to work the rest of your life, your fingers to the bone, dead dog tired, to buy somebody's created piece of garbage. That was a little harsh. Okay. I'll back off. So how's it going? Number 4. Well, I'm here to tell you, Motormouth has a plan. Want to know what it is? I gave you some of it, but not all of it. But I work hard behind the scene, not for me. I could actually go out on the shop floor right now and make 6 figures plus. Do you know that? Every year I get called, hey, would you want to come back into service for us? No. Why? They ground me out, folks. 80 hours a week. And I'm buying my own tools out of my own money. And I'm fixing my body out of my own money so I can keep going. And they make the coin, I get the pittance. But right now, anybody who's in the trade, you ought not to be turning a stinking wrench for anybody if you're not making six figures and then some. Take home money. Take home money. Not 100,000 gross, 100,000 net. Because it's time for the techs to get paid. And Ford has discovered that techs aren't going to work for $24 an hour. They say they're making $60,000 plus. That's a big, fat lie. No, they're not. They're doing all that heavy lifting for $24 an hour. You can work at McDonald's for that and get uniforms and company spirit, for Pete's sake. Don't get me started. It'll take a dozen Valium to bring me down, probably. So our plan, I've just revamped the whole plan for you to make it user-friendly because I've been using it myself. So if I let me know if I'm speaking to the wind. We built a fully laminated, reusable fleet maintenance system that makes it simple for you to have the plan to keep that vehicle going for as many miles as you want to put on it. As long as you keep the structural integrity solid, you're winning. You are winning the game big time. So you can check that out on the homepage of, on our website. It's under, I believe it's under contact, but you'll find it. There's a whole page there explaining how it works. It's so simple, you'll laugh. So whether you're old, you're young, you're tall, you're wide, whatever color, whatever creed you're from, if you can make a grocery list, you can win the car game with our Car Connection fleet maintenance system. It makes it simple. Super simple. And when you fill up your sheet, you dry erase it off and you start again. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's all done for you. Just follow the grocery list of the maintenance items and put a check mark in the box. It's that simple. Do this. Done. Check. Do this. Done. Check. When you get to the bottom, go into the next month. And you track your own maintenance as simple as a check mark. So listen, watch, then do. That's what it takes to move forward. And yes, you can do it. I guarantee you, you can do it. So I leave that with you today, and we thank the Grimo family, Dave and Kathy, and their brother Dan. Great people at Niagara Block, 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls, for making this morning's podcast available to you. They've been building Canada and dedicated since 1931. They have all the building supplies you need: blocks, metal, rebar, hardscape, landscaping materials, so that you can create that plan, implement the plan, get a contractor on it, and you can get a referral contractor from Kathy Grimo in the main office to estimate the project, get it started, get it done, and enjoy it and sit and relax. Because why? You're not making car payments anymore. And if that vehicle, whatever it is, has been treating you like dog poo on your shoe, it's time to say, goodbye, I'm going to try something else. Step away from it. It doesn't owe you anything. The company's not going to back you up 100%. They're just not going to do it. It's all planned obsolescence, period. And they know it. And they absolutely know it. So make it a great day today. It's Tuesday. We have 2 new videos going up today, 2 for Tuesday on our YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, that's where you're going to learn 5 things out of every single video: what it is, where it is, how it works, how it breaks, and how you can get some better understanding and basic fundamentals so that you can win at the car game and also put money back in your pocket. So till tomorrow, happy, healthy motoring. Come back and join us for another Motormouth Morning Drive, 8 a.m. drive here in the Car Connection Workshop. And peace, patience, and kindness always. And be safe out there. Keep an eye on the road and don't drive like a maniac, all right? And we'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye for now.